So, these Democrats are funny. They're out here trying to force us and shame us into voting Democrat. But the thing is, when you really do the digging and you find out that a lot of these people are dirty, right? This guy right here hung with gangsters, dope boys, everything. He got caught in the 1983 sting and then flipped and became an informant. He became an agent, undercover, right? He was cool with a lot of mobsters. He was cool with a dude that played football, left football, got into the Curington, got into the music industry, was selling that smack, right? In the 70s, was banging Sylvia Rome from Sugar Hill Records. That was his man's. They was rolling, right? All through the 70s, he was getting money. He got caught in a sting. He became a rat, right? He even tried to take down a shot of Shakur, right? All that stuff is on his record, but he on here talking greasy to us, talking real crazy, right? Let's revisit what he said at the National Action Network and how he gets paid very handsomely from these people because of his work he did with them people, with the letter crew.
A great convention and a great gathering. Give yourselves a big hand. And as for you that are watching on Impact TV, on live stream at www.National Action Network, on YouTube/NAN, and you that are listening at WBLS 107.5 in New York, as well as places around the country, we're happy to be with you another Saturday morning where the action is, and give a hand to our host, Sister Nancy Darlene Crawford. And all of our chapter leaders. We've had chapter leaders from all over the country. I see Larry Young. I looked for you last night. I went to the social. We've had chapter leaders from about 49 of our cities. And some people came to me last night from Mississippi. I didn't even know we had a chapter in that particular city. So I'm glad that people are here. Let me say, in terms of our report for the year, and then we're going to go on with the program. Our young people are rehearsing, getting ready for this afternoon is our youth day. I heard somebody talk about young people that tell them to just stay around. They're going to see two people, afternoon, all of the youth in NAN. I don't know, but you get provocateurs, because anybody that is talking to somebody younger than them holding.
Well, he would know what a provocateur is since he spent so much time working with them people and being one.
The mic, then you know that they paid agents. And if you're in the room, if you don't like me saying that, I'll say it again. Because you cannot get reparations without putting people in office that's going to pay them. So talk that ignorance somewhere else. No, people talking about we have been for all of our existence fighting for reparations, made every candidate pledge to it. You cannot get.
Well, we know that's a lie because Joe Biden never did an executive order for reparations, nor did Obama. And Obama said that was a waste of time. He didn't even want to go that route. So he's already been this deceiving liar. But we know he's a master at that because he can sit in the room with all kinds of microphones and stuff in his shoes and in his drawers, listening to conversations to take it back to the police. We already know what this dude is.
Reparations, unless you elect folk that's going to pay it. Who you going to pay yourself?
He said elect folk that's going to pay you. But wait a minute. They was electing these people, but the people you had it was being stonewalled in Congress by Democrats and Republicans. It didn't pass through the Senate. Like, who does dude think he talking to? See, that's what I'm saying. They think they could talk to anybody, right? Yeah, you had people that was putting in reparations claims and stuff like that, but a lot of them was relegated to just studies. Dude, the jig is up. But we're gonna really get him today. We're gonna really get this dude today, man.
So you can't, in one hand, say, but don't vote for everybody, they racist, but I want reparations. Who gonna pay you? So either.
Well, while we was voting for him, how come they didn't get nothing done? You know what is bipartisan though? The Dreams Act and all these immigration reforms that they got and these immigration bills that they got drafted up. It seemed like they get those passed very fast. But you got reparations bills that's been on the floor since 1980s. Yeah, like who you think? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, man.
You paid or you stupid or both.
And now we stupid. And look at her. Hold on. And look at her. Look at her over here in this. And this is what I'm saying. And a lot of people will say, well, these ain't our people. Let me tell y'all something. Hold on. Let me show my face when I say this. Let me tell y'all something. Yes, they are our people. Some of our biggest detractors are going to be our own foundational Black American families. It's going to be, and you know how you know that? When you at your barbecue, you know your mama, your aunties, your sister, your uncle, and them, they all vote Democrat. 90% of them do. And they will all sit here and agree with this foolishness. You're the outlier. You're the one at the table quiet because you don't want to kick nothing off. You don't want to get your food and go in another room. That's what you are, because you don't even feel like all that foolishness. Yes, no, they are people. Like a lot of our people are deaf, dumb, and blind and out of their mind. Yes, they are. And they still have a plantation mentality, and a lot of them don't even realize it. So let's keep it all the way 100. Let's not lie to ourselves.
I mean, I don't see nobody standing up. I didn't see whoever it was. But yeah, okay. I was at college and the guy stood up talking about, I don't believe in all that nonviolent stuff. Y'all need to get out the way and da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da. And all you punks, I said, hold it with the punk stuff. I said, because you got one punk out. You go to second punk, you're going to get the best nonviolent whipping you ever got in your life.
Man, these dudes, like, come on, man. Look at her over there. See, this is what they do at church. Amen and all that kind of stuff when the preacher's preaching. They don't know one scripture, but they just listen to whatever the preacher say. But let's go over here. Let's go over here and look at what he did, right? And let's look at what he was accused of, right? Right? Al Sharpton accused of helping lead FBI to Assata Shakur, right? This was published in 1988. The Reverend Al Sharpton, who worked as a federal informant, tried to set up a meeting with Black fugitive radical Joanne Chrismar in 1983, according to activists who said they were approached by Sharpton. The Black activists said they feared Sharpton was trying to deliver Kashmir into the arms of federal agents, but they had no proof. One law enforcement source who declined to be identified but has detailed knowledge of Sharpton's activities as an informant, said this week that Sharpton was working as an informant at the time he sought to meet Christopher. Right? The source said that one of Sharpton's assignments was to try to lead agents to Christopher, who escaped from prison in 1979 after being convicted of unaliving a New Jersey state trooper. It wasn't a big, massive operation. It was just a small shot in everyday deal, the source said. I would equate it to setting up 10 traps a day trying to catch a fox. He says Sharpton was not a major participant in the search for the woman, who goes by the African name Assata Shakur. A top FBI official said that Sharpton was not used in any manner to lure Shakur into a trap. Of course they say this. This is the first I'm hearing of this. It's bull blank. FBI Assistant Deputy Director Kenneth Walton, who led the Shakur investigation, said earlier, of course you would say that. You don't want to get him unalived. Sharpton flatly denied trying to make contact with Shakur. Newsday reported in January that beginning in 1983, Sharpton secretly supplied federal law enforcement agencies with information on boxer promoter Don King, reputed organized crime figures and black leaders and elected officials. Man, and in a 2-hour interview, Sharpton admitted to Newsday that he had assisted the government in drug and organized crime cases. Man, he said he also accompanied federal undercover agents wearing body recorders in meetings with various subjects of federal investigations. He said he allowed the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York to install a tap phone in his Brooklyn home. Sharpton has insisted he never turned over information on black radicals or on King. The Newsweek this week, Sharpton denied assertions by Ahmad Afemi, a longtime activist, and Kwame Birthright, an activist and photographer, who says Sharpton asked him to set up an encounter with Afemi. Both men say that Afemi acted as intermediary in the failed discussion with Sharpton to reach Shakur. Sharpton called the men liars and said they were possibly police agents. How could they be police agents and you working with the agents? He charged they are part of an element in the black community that has lost out and will fabricate any story out of jealousy because they have no following. Afemi, the national organizer for the new African People's Organization, says Sharpton met with him in Manhattan at least 4 times in 1983 over a period of about 2 months. He said that Sharpton offered to donate money to help black revolutionaries running from the law, and that Sharpton was particularly interested in setting up a meeting with Shakur, once referred to as the soul of the Black Liberation Army. Sharpton told Afemi he was representing 2 former Black Panthers who wanted to see Shakur, according to Afemi. Man, the ex-Panthers were supposedly trying to make useful contact in case they had to flee the country someday, Afemi said he was told. The first discussion was that they were close to her, that they had been in the Black Panther Party with her, and that they wanted to talk to her. Afemi said, I wanted to find out who they were, but he said they really didn't want to be known. Oh my God. Shakur was once a member of the Black Panther Party, but went underground around 1971 because she said she believed the group was being infiltrated by the city and federal law enforcement. The 1983 deal fell through at the final meeting, with Sharpton insisting that the money would be donated only if the two former Panthers could meet Shakur. Failing that, Afemi says Sharpton was interested in making any kind of contact with her or with any of her close associates that was also on the run. Naturally, I never went back to him, said Afemi, with organizations believe that blacks should have their own country within the United States and that they have a right to fight for it. Right. So this is him making proposals, trying to set up. He's trying to set up Afeni. Right. Now here you go. Right. Now for all the stuff that he was doing, when you check this here, right, you can go here right here to the smoking gun. Al Sharpton's secret work as an FBI informant. Hold on, I'm sorry. You can go right here, right, to the smoking gun. Al Sharpton's secret work as an FBI informant, untold story of how activists once aided mafia probes. And this gives a detailed breakdown of old Reverend Al, and all the people he was working with trying to take out, right? And how he's been handsomely paid with this nonprofit that he has now, right? According to its most recent IRS returns, which Sharpton signed in mid-November 2013, the National Action Networks pays him $241,000 annually for serving as president and CEO. In return for that hefty salary, Sharpton, who hosts a 3-hour daily radio show. In addition to his nightly cable program, reportedly works a 40-hour a week for the nonprofit, which lists unpaid tax liabilities totaling $800K. So he get money, man. He get money to push that, and he was rewarded that for being a rat, right? As an informant in development. What? Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's go here. Yeah, here you go. As an informant in development. As one federal investigator referred to Sharpton, the protest leader was seen as an intriguing prospective source since he had significant contacts in politics, boxing, and the music industry. Before he was flipped in the course of a 1983 sting and flipped in the operation 1983, Sharpton had established relationships with promoters Don King, various elected officials, and several powerful New York hoodlums involved in concert promotions, record distribution, talent management. At the time, the music business was overrun by hustlers, con artists, black and white. Sharpton recalled in his 1996 autobiography, a federal agent who was not part of the Genovese squad, but who also used Sharpton as an informant, recalled that everyone was trying to mine his music industry ties. In fact, by any measure, Sharpton himself was a mafia associate. The law enforcement designation given by mob affiliates who work not initiated, work with and for crime family members. Hold on, let's go here, right? For more than 4 years, right? The fact that Sharpton was working as an informant was known only to members of the Genovese squad, right? The police who was working on that squad, right? And a small number of other law enforcement agents. As with any mafia informant, protecting Sharpton's identity was crucial to maintaining the viability of ongoing investigations, and not to mention keeping him alive, right? So he worked with these people to take down Genovese family, but he let him put a tap on his phone, right? Let's go down here, right? This is the coke deal. He worked in trying to take out Don King, but when we go over to this page here, this guy Robert Curington, mugshot taken in 2009. Curington was a standout running back at North Carolina Central University, played for several pro teams until injuries forced his retirement in 1999. He transitioned into the music industry, right? This was one of Al Sharpton's teachers was an ex-con named Robert Curington, a music producer with a questionable history. So this was his OG, right? This dude right here. According. Hold on. Curington was twice indicted on federal narcotic. Damn, I can't read today. Narcotics charges after being acquitted in 1975 case. He was arrested again in 1977 after agents found a kilo of heroin. Right? Narcotics. Look, there you go. Narcotics agents found a kilo of heroin inside a briefcase and a cream-colored Thunderbird carrying Carrington and pal Frank Townsend. Man, listen, this dude right here, right? This dude right here was getting paper, major paper. I'm talking about bricks of heroin in the 70s, man. So you already know he was a millionaire. According to prosecution filings in the second case, federal agents had twice observed Carrington transacting sales of heroin with a DEA informant months prior to his arrest with Townsend. In a court opinion, the federal judge declared that the men were known by the DEA agents to be major narcotic traffickers. Currington was more charitable in his description of Townsend, whom he identified in one court filings as a fellow concert promoter who was also, man, listen. But this dude right here was banging Sylvia Rome, right? Now, mind you, Carrington was married, but you know, OGs back in the day, millionaire dude getting that money. He was boat racing Sylvia Rome, who was, major in the music industry. Now, mind you, this was This was Al Sharpton's homie. So it's funny how Al Sharpton get caught in 1983 sting with that smack. His OG is this dude right here. This is OG. Man, then he becomes an informant, right? This dude right here had a wife. This dude had a wife at home, but he was paying for her Sylvia Rome's condo in Manhattan. So paying for a condo in Manhattan, you already know he getting money to the point where some dudes ran down on. Man, listen, y'all. This dude right here was the real deal. So we gotta understand. So y'all guys can, if you go into let's go back down real quick. If you go into here, you can type in the smoking gun, because I'm not gonna read this whole thing, and you can get, you can get the full skinny on what happened and what's going on with that, right? But let's go back to this for a minute. Let's revisit this guy real fast, right?
When I listen to so-called loving black people who got lots of smoke for Democrats, but they don't say nothing about this here. They don't say nothing about the poly markets and all of these little betting apps and how folks are making millions and millions and accounts opening right before Trump makes an announcement. Y'all, last week, Trump pardoned 77 people who engaged in Medicare and Medicaid fraud. Straight ass fraud. Folk buying pardons. One dude got arrested because he tried to extort somebody who owed him money for one of the pardons. So it amazes me when I listen to these people who's sitting here, yeah, man, he buck dancing for the Democrats, when these people are doing what we said they were going to do, and pillage this country. See, again, and that's somebody in the comments say, well, Roland, I don't like you and Greg going after people who are defending lineage. Let me explain something to y'all. The reason I can't stand these punk ass people, oh yeah, he a tether, he got Haitian descent.
But if you listen to both sides, whether it's the Republicans or Democrats, they running the racket. Both groups is running the racket, man. And we get caught up in this foolishness. And this is why we got to stand out the way and stand in the middle, right? That, when y'all see me and I come like this, nerds over ninjas, right? Nerds over ninjas. I'm a nerd, right? Urban nerds, come from the block, changed my life. And I can see these people coming a mile away. The Roland Martins, especially Al Sharpton. I come from that life. I get it. I know what's going on, but they running the racket on both sides, man. And if you don't agree with them, you the enemy. You the enemy. That's why he responds this way. You the enemy. If you don't agree with Trump, you the enemy. If you don't agree with these Dems, you the enemy. And the Dems would like you to believe that only the Republicans are racist, not the Dems.
Well, that was my maternal, paternal grandfather's ancestors. So using y'all math, I got 4 grandparents, 2 on my daddy's side, 2 on my mama's side. So
don't defend yourself, bro.
No. But because John earlier, we gonna call it simple math. We just gonna call it simple.
He said these Negroes can't spell law or whatever. See how they talk about it? See how they disrespect us, right? I told y'all these are FBAs. But if you ain't a part of that elite bourgeois class, then you are out. You are nothing but a mere peasant to them. They probably see you worse than the W men see. They wouldn't spit on you if you was on fire.
Math. So if I got 4 grandparents and one of them had ancestors that came from Haiti, that means I got 3 more. That's 75%. So you dumbasses gonna act like that 75% don't exist? That's how stupid the whole conversation is. But what I'm looking at right now, and we cover this stuff every day, Ed Bloom right now dropped a lawsuit against the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation saying...
I already broke that down. Class was never in session. Not over here. Not over here. Nice try.
scholarships for the CBCF are race-based. They want to get rid of the money for the black folks. See, these little rich white kids, they can afford to come to DC and intern in somebody's office for free. These black kids can't do that. These black kids can't work for free in the State Department, in internships and in fellowships. You got to have money. These white folks going after that. Y'all Negroes real silent about that. But y'all love to holler buck dancing. Oh my God, he said there, support the Democrats. And these people are attacking every facet of Black America every single day. And y'all ain't saying, you know why? It ain't no shock all of a sudden y'all start opening y'all mouths. It ain't no shock Amber Rose saying her Nick Cannon on his podcast. You know why? Because y'all always show up around elections. See, I find it real interesting how a whole bunch of these Simple Simon Negroes were real quiet last year. They were real quiet when Doge was destroying billions of dollars of contracts. They were real silent.
We broke down why they was destroying billions of dollars, them NGOs, and how y'all was getting money setting up these fake social services programs and all this different money being allocated to the stuff that was going in y'all pockets because y'all running a racket too. So all he did was go and cut that money and keep it for his people because they running the racket over here on the Republican side. That's all it is.
When they were getting rid of grants for Black health and sickle cell. Oh, I thought y'all was super Black. Oh, they were slashing grants for Black infant mortality and all those different things. But they were mighty quiet. Oh, but 2026 hits. And lo and behold, what happens? We got an election that's coming up. And all of a sudden, the usual suspects come running out from behind the rocks they've been hiding under. So I know some of y'all say, well, you know, I mean, you know, and then they always say, well, you know, he always calling us names. Y'all call me a tether, I'm gonna call you punk ass some names. And what I'm saying is all y'all so-called super Black people, y'all really anti-Black. Because see, you're anti-Black if you're quiet about what these corrupt.
He was calling us out 2 years ago and 3 years ago. So how we only come around when election time comes?
Thugs are doing, but then you ain't saying nothing. So I just want to know, all y'all with your little USB microphones, with your little YouTube shows, show me how many Black families y'all have had on your shows whose loved ones have been shot and killed by the cops, but they can't call the DOJ. I'll wait.
And what justice do y'all
show
give?
me?
Y'all don't get the
how many
justice.
of y'all are standing up when Black DAs are being attacked? Oh, I'll wait. Show me how many of y'all are sitting here standing up for Black women, 600,000 laid off, 700,000 Black men, the Black.
Why don't y'all have the right people in office to protect that? Why didn't y'all have anything set up to protect it? Y'all got all these reforms to protect these immigrants, but not Black women. See, like you got people take the emotion out and just sit back and listen. People, boy, I tell you, man.
Unemployment rate has gone up. Ain't it amazing how all of these loudmouths are mighty quiet about Black unemployment going sky high, but y'all still got smoke for Kamala and Joe? Now, I ain't got a problem if you have a real critique of Kamala Harris.
There is no real critique because you guys are paid. You're paid by her. Al Sharpton is paid by them. And I wouldn't be surprised if you ain't a government agent as well. You guys are paid to behave the way you're behaving. And all these are your minions.
For Joe Biden. But I notice you're real quiet about Donald Trump. And my last point before I go to my next guest, let me just go ahead and say this here because I ain't got a problem saying it. And I told y'all I'm trying not to cuss. And I was really trying to hold back. No, leave it on the floor. I'm really trying hard.
I just had to just do this again because after Al Sharpton to show you how all this is connected to the money.
Not to cuss, and I really want to go there. But you sorry. It's amazing how y'all had a whole lot of to say, where Kamala? Where Kamala? We don't see Kamala. Where Kamala? What's she doing? But y'all ain't got to say about J.D. Vance. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing, you simple Simon Negroes. Where Kamala? Where's she at?
So let's get back here. So I just wanted to just expose that a lot of these dudes are working with the police. A lot of these guys are highly paid by the Democratic racket to go out there and say the things that they say and sway the black voting bloc, right? Right now, they're hemorrhaging. They're in trouble because the younger generation is asking questions now, right? And so it's a lot. They're having a lot of problems. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't even speak on us. We wouldn't be anything. We would be peasants to them. But because we're making too much noise, we're getting too loud. Their master said, "Hey, it's getting loud down there. It's getting loud down there. What are we paying you for?" Right? And this is the issue, man. This is the issue. So I'm telling you that most of your biggest detractors are going to come from your own people. It's going to come from your own people. It's not going to come from immigrants. It's going to come from your own people. Because we've been conditioned to give everything away. We've been conditioned to just give all our culture away as if we don't have none. And we've been conditioned, we have so many sellouts. The miseducation of the Negro spoke about the educated Negro leads the masses, chapter 6 or 12, right? It also spoke about too many orators and not enough people doers. So Carter G. Woodson spoke about this 100 years ago. They was having this issue then, the same issue we're having now. The same issue we have now. A. Philip Randolph was calling out the NAACP back then. He was a restrictionist and was going against the grain all the way back then. And was calling out Garvey and everybody else. The same issues we have in now. So I just wanted to just come and just show this. Show that most of these people, they're connected to a racket, man. And they're being paid to do this stuff. And a lot of them are FBI informants, man. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.